YouTube. All right, got another show and tell for you. That's all YouTube is show and tell. Okay, so just installed some new LEDs in the rear from Yoshimura. I did the whole fender eliminator kit, also removing the factory Honda lamps in the back with the Yoshimura LEDs. You may have seen that from my other videos. If not, you can go back and check those out when I did the walk around. But this is the issue that I'm having for today's episode, and it's hyper flash. Doesn't matter what I do, right or left, I'm gonna get the hyper flash effect where it just strobes like crazy. One thing to note is that my hazards weren't affected by it, but definitely my flashers are. So let's fix that in today's episode. Well, cool, welcome back. You can see here, this is the current setup, present day of the Recce 300, hashtag Recce 300, that's what I like to call it. And the concept with this bike is that, one, it gives me an added option to overland, do some weekend trips, extend my range, but also give me another tool in the arsenal of the Hernandez garage. You guys know that we do everything preparedness, so that includes the Jeep Gladiator, the EcoDiesel Wrangler Rubicon, and also now the new addition to the group, which is the 2021 Honda CRF300L Rally. I have absolutely fallen in love with this little thing. It's been such an awesome platform for me to begin on. And I'm kind of rounding that first phase of completion of parts on it, which leads me to what we're gonna be talking about today, and that is these factory turn signals. You can see this nice, normal, rhythmic pattern that you typically get from the factory, which most of us don't even think to consider, is what I'm looking to achieve today, how I did that, and why. Why is that even an issue? Well, I'll tell you. For those of us who are upgrading to LEDs, this is actually what we're looking to do, but because the factory did not come with LEDs, it changes the load that's on that circuit, conversely changing the way that it flashes, okay? So I'm about to change to an LED, and then you can see what happens. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is remove these two little Allen head bolts. It's a 5mm, and remove this little plastic panel right here, and will give me access to everything that I need. Super simple. These are actually held in by a little bit of pressure in these two bolts. So you can see here, I can just pull back and that'll pop out. Right there, there it is. And then be careful, the one that I'm talking about for these two panels is actually right here on the top, and you can separate it just by going up. There it goes. Make sure not to lose anything. And then what I need to access is right here.
Once you have swapped out the LED flasher relay from TST Industries, the whole process is complete. The part number is RLYG2. So very simple, all you need is this. It'll fix the whole circuit that is involved with the flashers that have LEDs, and you're done. Now that one problem is solved, let's move forward and work on installing the LED turn signals from Yoshimura.
This is the Yoshimura LED light I know everybody makes fun of influencers when they put their hands behind it, but it's the only way to get it in focus. So this is the LED light. There's a pair of them that I'm gonna put in the front that I'm going to change, but I also have these really great looking plates from Yoshimura that will fill in the factory slots. When we install these, I'll show you how they go in. So one of the problems that you're gonna see if you want to run the Yoshimuras, and it's not really a problem, it's just something you're gonna have to get creative over, is that it's a 2-wire light, meaning that this does not have a running light on it. And this light from the factory has a 3-wire, which means that when you turn it on, those will automatically light up. I did not want to lose that feature because me, like many of you, want to be seen and not ran over. You know, there's a lot of inattentive drivers out there, and I just don't want to deal with that. To me, I want all the lights, right? Give me all the lights. So that I'm more noticeable, and maybe it'll mitigate some of the risk of being out there, okay? First thing I'm gonna do is take off the windscreen. It's really not that tight. It's important to note that, so I don't over tighten it and split it somehow. Okay, and there she is. Next thing I'm gonna do is there are 4 bolts here that will release the headlights, and then once I get the headlights off, it'll give me space to get into the turn signals. It's a little crowded in there. That's okay though. There we go, it's free. Should just come off and out of the way, and we should be good. All right, next is the 2 10mm. One here, one there. This one might take me a little bit. So these are the 2 that we're gonna work on. This is a 1-wire, and these are the other 2. For wiring. This is for this side over here. Correct orientation. Wiring's done. Just trying to see, you can see I'm rotating this, trying to get it straight, because when I tighten it down, it'll torque it in the direction of me tightening it. So take your time, make sure these get lined up the right way, maybe even just counter it just a little bit while you tighten it, because I'm having a hard time getting it to not move. That. There we go. Awesome. So the wiring's done. Just making sure I'm putting everything back in the boot. I did get on the website, and if you look on the Yoshimura website, that was the remarks that people were giving these LEDs, is that they're, you know, it's a nice light, and it's very nicely constructed, and, you know, the housing and everything. However, the circuit board that's in there does not allow for daytime running lights, and I thought that I could get away with going this route. Nah, fail. No worries. We'll figure out something later. Right now, I just gotta get it working. On the Yoshimura website, you can get the actual Honda connectors, so it's plug and play, but they weren't available when I ordered it. So I went the bullet connector route, which is super easy. It just kind of messes with your fingers a little bit if you do it long enough. So yeah, so protected the boot, everything's wired in. I'll put the diagram here so you can see it. For wiring, you can see the red to black is the ground, and then the other 2 are signal and daytime running lights. Again, I don't have daytime running lights, so we're just gonna make do. Now that everything is wired and mounted, you can see here, turn it on. I have, can you see that? No. there is the left signal, right signal is on, and then also hazards. You can kind of see it there underneath that light, but I'll give you a better view once we get started. Or finished, actually, not get started. Okay, everything is out of the way. In its spot. Make sure that you don't drop anything. This is one of the inserts from the top. And then as you're going through it, the only thing that needs to go back on are the 4 bolts. Let me see, I have them in my pocket here. These 4. Too close. There you go. There's only 4 of these, which removes the whole housing. 2 here, 2 in the bottom. I want to over tighten it, so we're just gonna give it just a little bit. And then that comes out. Okay. Everything is in. We just gotta put the windscreen back on. And then I'm done. Take this time to get a microfiber and wipe the inside of it down. A little dusty. Not too bad though. Okay, let's get in here like this. Line it up with the little rubber grommets. So it's got a little bit, and we're gonna go there like that. Okay. All right, not exactly the desired outcome, so I did have to make a compromise here and settle for just getting new LED signal lights from Yoshimura. Like I said during the video, I got into the website and it did say from some of the guys that already did it that the circuit board does not allow for daytime running lights. So I knew that going into it. I just assumed that I could use the TST Industries harness and it would convert that. But even though it failed, I still really like the way that it turned out. You know, these things have that nice little rubber grommet on their Yoshimura plates, and I think it looks awesome. So this is the way it is on, and that's the way it looks off. So it gives me just a little bit more of a sleeker look. It also matches the rear. You guys have already seen that. You know, this was a little difficult. I'm gonna say if we're gonna rate this, you know, on a scale from 1 to 5, this is probably closer to a 2 or a 3. A 3 if you don't understand, you know, how to do a little bit of 12-volt electrical work. If you do, it's actually kind of simple. It takes some time. There are a couple of options now that are on the Yoshimura website where you can just get plug and play harnesses. If you don't want to rewire anything, that wasn't available when I ordered these, and then I was on a little bit of a waiting list. So we may do. Now it's on there. I only have a couple more things you may have seen that I got a new seat on here. We'll talk about that on a different video. But if this is kind of stuff you guys like, make sure you're sharing it. I appreciate all the comments. If you have any questions, again, like, subscribe, tell your friends, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.